Hey guys, welcome back to the channel because you're all having a great day. Today is November 9th when I'm recording this video. Hopefully you guys get it out today because today's video is one you're not going to want to miss. It is going to go over everything with this scandal against Jared from Adventures with Purpose. So get your coffee. I got my coffee, my new coffee mug. It's super cute. Get your snacks because this is going to be a doozy. That first sip of coffee is so good. So Adventures with Purpose, specifically today, we're going to be talking about Jared, who is the founder of that organization. Now, if you go to their YouTube page, they have almost 3 million subscribers. They have a huge following and a huge support system. And basically what they do, it says from their description, Adventures with Purpose, AWP, is an underwater search and recovery dive team dedicated to helping families of missing loved ones for free, it says. It does go on to say, with your support, they have recovered 23 missing persons code cases that have been solved since 2019. Now, a lot of you may know Adventures with Purpose, because of the Kylie Ronnie case. In my opinion, I feel like that is the case that really put them on the map in the true crime community. Now, today, I'm not going to be going over all the great things that they have done as a whole, as an organization, because Jared, the founder, has put a dark cloud over that organization. And it looks like it is all unfolding. All these lies, all these truths are all starting to come to light. And it looks like one by one, they're going to start leaving Adventures with Purpose. Now, Jared has some serious allegations, you guys, being brought up against him. And it has left a lot of people stunned, shocked, confused by all of this. Now, as you can see on the screen, he has 2 counts of R against a child. Now, this would be a first-degree felony. This took place in Utah. What's going on with Utah in these cases? Again, Jared Lysick, I believe his last name is, and if it's not, don't come for me with the pronunciation. Date of birth, 9/16/1975. So I believe that puts him at what, like 47? And it says that on or between October 1st, 1992 and November 1st, 1992, and this would have happened in San Pete County. It says that the defendant, which would be Jared, did have sexual intercourse with a child who is under the age of 14. And basically, count 2, it says January 1st, 1992 and December 31st, 1992. And it's the same claim underneath there. Now, during this time, it is being said that Jared would have been about 16 or 17 when this took place. And this was against his cousin, and she would have only been, you guys, 9 or 10. Now, this next part, or I should say this whole stream, I should have did this in the beginning, just huge trigger warning, because this is a topic that is triggering for some people. It's going to go over SAR, and it's all against a child. And even it might go into religion, and I know that might make people feel a little uncomfortable too. But as you can see, the probable cause for this is the defendant, Jared, and the victim are cousins. In 1982, again, this is when this would have took place, the victim was between 9 and 10. And the defendant is 7 years older, so that would have just put him at 16 or 17 when this took place, allegedly. Now, just before November 1st, 1992, the victim lived in Hemphiam, which is located in San Pete County. About this time, the defendant and the victim were in the victim's bedroom when the defendant pinned the victim to the ground, pulled her underwear down, and you guys can read the rest right there. Now, during another incident, it says that same year, the defendant, Jared, and the victim were in the grandparents' house in Manti. And this is when the defendant, Jared, laid on top of her and then again did the same act to her. Now, there's also these emails that have come into play, and I'm going to get into a little bit with that in just a minute. Now, Jared does, again, these are allegations being brought against him from his cousin that took place back in 1992. He will have his day in court. He has court on November 30th in Sanpete County. And again, this is Utah at 10:30 in the morning. Now, I just went on Twitter and I just seen this. So just bear with me. I'm going to look at my phone right now. So this is going to come from SF Investigates, and I will put this up on the screen somewhere. Now, it says Jared has hired an attorney, so his attorney's name is Randall Richards, to represent him in this child R defense. Now, it says that Jared has filed a motion to appear remote via WebEx, which that would make sense to me, meaning he doesn't have to be there in the courtroom. He can do it online. So then it says, I suspect this means he plans to surrender and be booked sooner than later. And that's SF just speculating on that, it says. Now, it looks like this was just posted about an hour ago that the court actually approved Jared's motion to appear remotely for his November 30th hearing. So meaning he can do it through web. Now, I also see that there is a request for discovery that his attorney has filed. And I did learn a little bit about this from the Johnny Depp case, but basically this just means that, Jared's attorney is requesting, asking for all copies of evidence that can include interviews, statements, police reports, all of that stuff from the state that the state is in possession of. So I will share those here, and then I will also just share that on the community. So very interesting what's taking place. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. Now, I'm sure they're going to request those emails that has been circling around, and this is emails between the cousin and Jared. Now, for me personally, it was the emails that kind of sealed the deal for me, because the emails on the response of Jared were not the response that I would be thinking a person who is innocent of doing something like this would respond. Now, there was never no denying what was being accused of him. Never once did he say, I didn't do this. Are you effing crazy? What's going on here? Is this a prank? None of those things were in that email. And I will read a little bit from those emails for you guys right here. So this is going to be Jared right here in this part of the email. It says, I am very sorry for the things that we cannot change. It is unfortunate that the Lysick and Jewish lineage experienced the shit that you, I, and many of the other cousins were brought into. Like yourself, I once was a victim by multiple people in and out of the family, he is saying. It is unfortunate when families like ours experience molestation. Many of us cousins got together to acknowledge what had happened in our youth and made a pact to put an end to it and to protect our children from anything like that ever happening to them. Now he says, I have myself tried to apologize to you and have an open conversation with you about it to answer any questions you may have. The first time that I apologized to you, I am sorry for the way that it was handled, for I was under the impression that your mother knew and that I felt it was appropriate at that time to have the conversation with both of you. I did not mean to embarrass you or catch you off guard. The second time that I tried was not to clear my own conscience, but to help you heal and help with any struggles you may have been having, as many of us had to learn how to overcome and move forward. Essentially told me to go fuck myself and told me how I had embarrassed you the first time around. I am sorry. My understanding is that other cousins also have tried to have the same conversation with you. We are now all adults, and it is healthy for us to acknowledge and address those unfortunate circumstances from our past in our child and adolescent years. Unfortunately, your desire to have a 46-year-old male live the mistakes of a 12-year-old simply is not realistic. Thank God we are not forever judged for our actions as youth, and I'm grateful that many of us cousins acknowledged and stop those sins which happened to us and those sins we once committed as a result of grooming. It is healthy for you to now be open and talk about the past. I mean, the nerve of this guy. You, as a full grown woman in your early 40s, are to be commended for facing and standing up to those actions which happened to you in your past. Spread awareness, he tells her, and stop the cycle as we cousins within the family have for our own children and grandchildren. Protect your own children and grandchildren as we have to help the world become a better place, he says. We live in a society that acknowledges the mistakes made in the past, accepting those who have proven to change. My life holds no secrets, and everyone in my office feels your pain and has seen this email string, for I don't filter my own emails. They know me for the man that I am and not the mistakes of a 12-year-old who learned to recognize the cycle and break the cycle as many of us cousins did. You were younger and not yet ready to accept my apology and recognize the steps we made for future generations to protect them. I hope you can one day find forgiveness and peace. Feel free to have any last words, for I will not respond to any further attacks as to my character today based upon those actions as a youth. Should you desire a healthy adult conversation as to the past, I'm open to helping you through the acceptance and growth that many of us faced and dealt with. Wow, my gosh. While there is a lot of shit that has happened throughout my own life personally, from molestation, abandonment, growing up in foster care, and other shit along the way, I would not change a thing, for it has made me who I am today. What about apologizing for what you did to her? You wouldn't change that? I cannot apologize for others for anything that has happened to you in your life, but I have done my best to acknowledge directly with you my own mistakes. Oh my God. I hold no secrets, he says, as to this with my own parents and grandma and grandpa, with your mother, aunt, and he names whited out all of that, and my own wife and my own children. I have even discussed publicly about my situation and the unfortunate shit that has happened within families. Then he says, do we pinpoint it to to his family, he's saying, and Juhaz's lineage, or do we pinpoint it to Mormonism, he's saying? He says, I do not have an answer. There is no way for me to understand the hatred and resentment that you must have for me over 3 decades later. I heard about your driving into the cemetery a few weeks later. Trust me, had I known that you had a desire to be there and that I was the only reason keeping you away, I would have 100% given up my time to do what I could to avoid the ceremony so that you would feel comfortable and have your time with Grandpa and the rest of the family. It is your decision and your choice if you ever want to accept my apology. I have made peace in my life with all the things bad, including this situation. If you ever want to discuss, I am always available to have the conversation with you, either in person or over the phone. Sincerely, Jared. Now, since all of this has gone public with the emails and stuff, I feel like slowly but surely, people that have once worked with Jared or worked with him still, they're all coming out of the woodwork with sharing their own shady little stories about Jared, from like money to even how certain families were treated. Now, one person that went live yesterday is by the name of Exploring with Ned. Now, he mentioned something during that live stream he did that really stuck out to me, and I want you guys to take a listen.
Some people have made comments already at the beginning of the live saying that there isn't proof.
Here's the thing. The proof thing is where I'm like, the emails, that's all the proof I needed to be, convinced that this is not fabricated. And on top of that, somebody also said, well, these emails could be fabricated. Somebody could have wrote these. Jared couldn't have, he didn't write these, stuff like that. But Jared has already said that his official statement is the emails back and forth between him and his cousin. I got that text from him because I reached out to him and I was like, hey, I heard about what's going on. You know, I want you to know, because this is before I knew anything and I thought he was my friend. So I told, I sent him a text. I was like, hey, I heard what's going on, dude. I got your back if you need anything. That was me, my first reaction, because I thought maybe I had a friend getting railroaded. But that's me jumping the gun too fast before I knew what the hell was going on. And that was dumb on my part. But he did write back, very generic message saying, my official statement is what I wrote back and forth to my cousin. That's public on Reddit. So anybody could read these.
So I thought that was interesting because we're all waiting for a statement from Jared. And then Nug is saying that he messaged him and he got a message back basically saying, my response is right there in those emails. That's my statement. And that just blows my mind. The only thing, and it blows my mind because he never denies it, you guys, not once. Now, the only thing is he does say in that email that he would have been 12 when this took place. So that would have made his cousin be what, 5? Now, another person who has come forward and put out a video, of course, is somebody that I know I myself was wondering what their stance was, and that is Doug Bishop. Now, he did a little, I think it's about like 7-minute clip he put up, and I shared that on my channel also for you guys. And a lot of people were supportive of Doug. And then there were also a lot of people that aren't supportive of him. So, in this video, he does say that he did not know about it. And basically, it goes against his code and that he has daughters. And he also says he is a survivor. He also makes a comment like that him and his wife, him and his family, they're going to be okay. I took that as if he leaves Adventures with Purpose, they're still going to eat. Like they're going to be okay financially is how I took that. And let me play a little clip for you.
Where I go from here, I have a lot of support, and I love everybody who's reaching out and telling me and letting me know that I have your support and that you stand with me. And my future is just going to go with being real. I'll continue to follow the passion that I've developed with helping people, with, telling somebody's story. I come from the towing industry, and now I pull cars out underwater, helping families get answers. I've developed that passion. It's unfortunate that I've developed that passion and this has happened. It doesn't align with what I believe in. I have daughters, I'm a father, and I come from a real rough background. And I've changed my life. I've become a really good man. And I've always followed the code. And that code has been violated.
This next person, Josh, who was Adventures with Purpose camera guy, editing and all of that, he is the first to actually resign from Adventures with Purpose. And I must say, I was extremely proud of him. I was shocked to know he would be the first one, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. I thought it would have been Doug or even Nick that would have been like, nah, screw this, I'm done. But it was the youngest one, I think, probably out of all of them. And that was Josh.
Just wanted to be real with you guys, and I wanted to take a moment to try to address the issue that should have been addressed by now, which we were all hoping for better leadership in this, which is why I have officially resigned from being part of the search team, which I don't need to mention. It's pretty obvious that I have been a part of in the past. I will live my life with integrity and morale and knowing that I did the right thing and made the right decision, which I hope you guys can support.
Now, I do want to just say, I'm not here to say, believe these guys or don't believe these guys. They're saying they didn't know about these allegations against Jared. Now, whether you believe them or you think they're a lying piece of shit like Jared, that's up to you guys. We're all adults here. Come to your own conclusion here. I was questioning, how can they not have known when, in the email, Jared, he states that, the people in the office knew because of the string of email. It is Adventures, it's AWP support on there. And, I thought, how can they have not known? When something like this, if someone finds out about something like this with a group of 100 people, I feel like that shit will go around the room so quick. But yet, something like this, a small group of diver guys, they didn't know about it. I don't know. I just really questioned, did they know about it or did they not know about it? But they're saying they didn't. And then I thought about it with that email after reading it a couple of times. And I thought how much it is of Jared gaslighting his victim slash survivor. And, you know, um, maybe he's just lying. Maybe he's just saying that the people in the office knew, just to be like, look, even the people in the office seen these and they're okay with it. You know what I mean? So maybe he's lying about that. Maybe no one even seen that. Then we hear from other people that have worked with him that are saying like, nope, he's the only person who deals with the emails. So I don't know. But because of all of that, I'm going to give these guys like Doug and Josh, the benefit of the doubt. And I'm going to just believe their word that they did not know about these allegations. And I know some people are going to be upset with me over that. Like, oh my gosh, no, they knew. How can they not known? And all of that. And look, guys, I don't know. I don't know if they knew or they didn't. I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt because that's who I am. So I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Now, if they did know, I do believe that it will come out. So in time, all of this is going to come out. So we shall see. There's a lot more stuff to go over with this. Like the sister, she's also saying that Jared did abuse to her. And I do want to make a separate video just for her. But let me know what you guys think about all of this. And, again, please be respectful in the comment section. You just never know what someone is going through that might be reading it. So just be a little kind today, especially with this topic. Now, if you've never been in a situation like this, count your blessings, or your children have never been in a situation like this, count your blessings, okay? And before you start asking these questions of why now, just try to educate yourself a little bit. So I do want to play this little clip that goes into explanation, and hopefully that educates you guys a little bit about this topic. Because why now? Why not? Does it matter? Like seriously, you guys, in the bigger picture of it all, does that even matter? If you're so concerned of the why now, you have 100% miss what is most important here with this whole story. So check this out.
So first off, I think one of the main important things to notice is the length of time of passage from the date of the incident to when these survivors and these victims actually came out about their abuse. It's very difficult, especially as a minor, to even process the fact that you were sexually abused. So the mental processing that it takes for that and for the ability to come forward is why we have such great laws. And Utah has an amazing statute where there's no statute of limitations when it comes to minors being sexually abused. Or we've seen, science has shown that minors who are abused, normally it takes them until the age of 53 to even come forward. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the statute's language is that we know a minor cannot consent to sexual intercourse. Therefore, it doesn't matter if they were forced. It doesn't matter if they were coerced. None of that matters. They cannot consent to sexual intercourse. So if they were a minor and they were another individual, point proven. It's a felony of the first degree, and that can land them to jail from 15 to life in prison. It really depends. And 2 counts, it depends on what the judge wants to issue, but they can run it consecutively or they can run it concurrently. So it really.
And I have to ask you, there's something interesting because Adventures with Purpose has quite a big following on YouTube, and I think some other YouTube channels were taking notice of the fact that Mr. Lysick wasn't in the video of this group discovering the body of Kylie Rodney, one of their biggest videos, something that really put them on the map for what they did. Does that give you the sense that, I mean, we have no idea why that was the case, but does it give you the sense that maybe he was out of the spotlight considering these charges were coming down the pipeline?
It did give me the sense, something that really kind of rubbed me the wrong way is, I had followed them for quite some time as well. And, when you see things like that, where you see, oh, they're trying to help society, they're trying to build a good systemic change to help save people, and then you hear a story like this, it really just makes you question everybody's motives, really. And when you think back on it and you see, oh, he wasn't there, it really does get you questioning, was there some type of reason for it? And it's really sad.
Again, I have to emphasize this. We don't know what the story is. All of this is alleged. I will ask you, you mentioned something about the time frame, right? 1992, you had took the position, and it was interesting that many of these victims don't even realize the gravity of what happened to them. They don't recognize that it was sexual assault. And maybe that's why it takes so long to come forward with, accusations and charges. The counter argument is it's an old case. It's from 1992. Is there a situation where it would be really tough for the prosecution to prove a case like this?
Absolutely. I mean, one of the hardest things in discovery is dating back that far, being able to get any type of witness statements, any type of documentation that would prove these alleged claims. So that is something that's going to be very difficult for the prosecution, is how do you date back that far and get people to remember those things? Was there ever a police report? Was there ever, did they ever tell somebody, especially as a minor? You don't tend to tell your parents as a minor because, again, you don't know. You don't know at that age that you were just raped or sexually assaulted. So it's definitely going to be a hurdle for the prosecution.
So let me know what you guys think about all of this craziness. Get in the comments right now. I will be online for about 30 more minutes so I can be able to talk to you guys. So make sure you comment right now. This is just fucking crazy if you ask me. And until the next one, you guys, stay blessed, stay grinding, and I'll talk to you guys then. Bye, guys.